precedent. I've not seen anyone do that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange place to crash. Handover, of course, as well, has had that off. He's down into 10th position. But at the front, it's still Bennyworth from Brewster and Richards third, breaking away. Here's the replay then of what happened to John. Oh, this is handover. Oh, just pushed onto the grass. And when you get on the grass there, you are definitely heading to the scene of the accident. And Handover did well to keep out the wall. Definitely helped by Harold there. Race control, I'm certain we'll be looking at that one. Yeah, we'll bring you any news of that when we have it. But at the front, it's still Bennyworth. He's holding his own out front. These front three are breaking away a little bit from Ben Brown in fourth. So I'm guessing everyone very much aware of the tyres, very much thinking they need to keep some sort of tyre for the end of this race, particularly Richards. Richards might be thinking, I'm not in too much of a hurry at this point to go storming past these guys. I'm just going to sit here and run their pace. So meanwhile, down the pack, we're starting to see a little bit of a train developing behind Ben Brown. It's nothing major just yet, but it's bringing the gaps right down. So you've got Winter and Lewis starting to catch very quickly, and Ollie not too far behind as well. Lewis still not able to pass Winter yet, and that's going to be a worry because Winter's tyres at the end of race 2 were in such good condition. It's going to be tough for Lewis to pass him, I think. Yeah, I think Lewis will be hoping to get that move done earlier in the race and then build a bit of a lead. He doesn't really want to be stuck behind Winter for too long. Big wobble from Brewster coming out of that last corner there, but he had such a good run after it. And again, another wobble coming out of the final corner. He is on the limit, and that's opened up the opportunity for Richards now, who takes a look going into turn 1, outbrakes him and gets the job done. Great move. Great clean move from Richards. Yeah, he massively outbraked Brewster there into the first corner. I think Brewster possibly knew that because he got a poor run out, he probably thought, I'm not really going to be able to defend this. So Richards through into second place, and now he's going to be thinking, looking for a way past Bennyworth as soon as possible. Look at how close the lap times are for people's best laps at the moment. John Curry sets the fastest lap of the race, just to show you how open this event is. He's down in 12th position at the moment. And Richards has got alongside Bennyworth coming out of Shell Oil's corner as they head down to the Hislop chicane. He's just not quite close enough. He dives back in and just biding his time, I think, here. Bennyworth driving a good race so far, no mistakes. It'll be interesting to see how he handles the pressure from Matt Richards. Matt Richards is intensely fast and blew a lot of people away when he joined this championship. A lot of people, a lot of experienced drivers not able to keep up with him. So let's see how Bennyworth does handling that pressure. Yeah, Richards has been the foreman of this championship so far this year, no doubt about it. And Bennyworth looked positioning his car to block the inside into Lodge Corner. Now, a late apex by Richards. He's trying to get a better drive out as they go up Deer Leap. Heading across the start-finish line now to complete lap 5. He's having a little look on the outside. Bennyworth defending the middle of the track, going in there. Brewster is still there in the Subaru. Ben Brown not far behind either. So yeah, but Bennyworth driving a good, sensible race so far. He is. He's putting the car exactly where he needs to. He's not feeling the pressure, really. He's just dealing with it as it comes, which is great driving, great experience from the guy. It's interesting because Manley's not far behind this group now because it's all backing up into each other. You can see him just at the back of the picture there. And Winter just had a bit of a dodgy hairpin there. And Davies goes very wide there. So both Subarus making mistakes into the hairpin. Bennyworth was very wide as well around Shell Oil's hairpin there. It didn't actually cost him too much time, but it looked like that Richard might be able to get alongside it going down into the chicane, but no, Bennyworth just about held him off. But you're right, it hasn't really spread out this race, so we've really got the sort of top 7 or 8 cars still pretty much together in one long train. Look at this run that Richards has got. This will be a phenomenal move if he pulls it off. He's got the space, he's got the line. Bennyworth is very fair with him there. They're still side by side. Great racing there, yeah, Bennyworth left him a bit of room on the inside that he was entitled to, and it now looks like Richards has got the inside for Lodge. Bennyworth brakes very late there though. He might just be able to hold him off around the outside. They're side by side onto the start-finish straight, but now we're going to have the opposite. Richards is going to have the inside line once again. Advantage Richards, outbrakes him, in we go. Yeah, I think Bennyworth realised he There was no way he could hang it around the outside on that one, and he conceded it.
Job done.
Richards,
what a great move.
Yeah, he did. Well, they won about 3 corners side by side there. So, yeah, great move by Richards in the end. He knew he was going to get it done, and now Brewster is thinking he would like to get past Bennyworth as well if he can.
Some fantastic racing again in this race. It's brilliant today.
We've seen brilliant. Oh, look at Richards. He's a bit deep, I would say, into Shell Oils, and a bit of contact between Brewster and Bennyworth there. And then Ben Brown is also trying to get past Brewster. He's almost alongside him as they head down to the Hislop chicane.
That'll be a brave move if he pulls that off.
Yeah, Brewster's managed to regroup, and he's maintaining his 3rd position. So Ben Brown, then Harold and Winter and Manley all acting together. Brewster on the grass.
Oh, what a wiggle.
He was way off the road there.
Now surely Ben Brown's going to have a good run on him now after that off-track excursion. His speed's going to be so much higher. He's going to have such a better drive out of this corner. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, they head down to Lodge Corner. This is a very favoured passing place. But look at Harold trying to go on the outside of Ben Brown.
A little bit of a nudge there that's going to make Brown's run out the corner not too great. Now, if Harold dives to the inside now, he might have a chance. I think Brown's covering it off for now, but Harold's having a little look up the inside. Very well done.
But Ben Brown seemed to defend, and then he opened the door.
Yeah, he opened the door massively. I think he was a little bit concerned about what was going to happen. And now he's got Winter and Manley all over him. Winter straight up the inside. Doesn't make the move stick. I would have been a bit concerned if he tried that. But now look at Lewis on Winter going into the hairpin.
So this is really difficult for Lewis Manley.
Up the inside for Winter onto Brown. He's outbraked himself, and now Manley's just going to get the both of them in one move.
Bit of contact coming out, but I think that was sort of side by side. But yeah, Manley's taken advantage. He's got past Brown. Now he's trying to pass Winter as they head down to Hislop chicane. He's got the inside line.
Needs to outbrake him.
Contact.
Oh, that was very tight. That's compromised Lewis on the exit. And oh, Winter shuts the door, and Brown puts himself in the barrier.
Yeah, so he was just constantly trying to come across, but Brown got his nose in there. And whether Winter knew he was quite that close, I don't know, but they kind of got locked together. And that spun Winter round, and he's lost quite a few places. He's down to 11th. He's battling with Richardson here. So as a result of all that, Manley is now up into 5th. It's cost Brown, it's cost Winter. So Manley now 5th, Davies is 6th, Kelly is 7th, Handover 8th.
What this battle has really done is it's opened up the pack now. There's a few gaps that are starting to form. Look at Brewster up the inside of Bennyworth. Thinks better of it there. I thought he had that done and dusted there.
Bennyworth carried so much speed though on that outside line. He took a wide sweeping line, and he really carried a lot of momentum.
I think he really likes that line. He's been very good at running the car around the outside of some of the corners and just braking that little bit later and still keeping on track. Amazing car control.
Yeah, excellent driving by Bennyworth. He's been fending off Richards for quite some time now. He's fending off Brewster, but Brewster's got a bit of an overlap here as they come out of Shell Oils.
Oh, surely Brewster's going to outbrake him here going into the inside.
He's a little bit ahead. He's half a car length ahead, and he has the inside. It
Definitely
should be straightforward.
Has the corner. He's got the move done before the second part of it, which is always the ideal scenario for the overtaking car. And now let's see what Harold can do.
Yeah, so Harold will be probably looking at it thinking, that's what I'm going to do next lap. That's a neat move into that Hislop chicane, one of the favourite passing places on the track.
So Richard's starting to pull right away from the field.
Yeah, he's built up quite a lead. His last lap was a 27.8. Actually, last lap for Brewster, 27.5. So, and Bennyworth, 28.4. So, Cameron Brewster, the fastest on the last lap, last time around. So he's going to set off and try and chase down Richards. It'll be impressive if he can do that. But yeah, Harold now very much moving on to the back of Bennyworth, and trying to take that final podium spot, and then Manley a little bit further back. As a result of all that battling, what's happened is Manley's dropped back a bit from Harold, but still not too far, not so far that it's insurmountable before the end of this race.
No, he's not too far, but that is obviously the problem when you start going wheel to wheel for so many laps in a row, is the cars in front will just naturally pull away. Even though they were battling as well, it's almost like they held off for a few laps and then just let that gap build up. So now Lewis has got a lot of work to do because he needs to do more damage limitation in this race. 5th place is good, but I'm sure he's eyeing a podium.
Yeah, definitely, especially with Matt Richards being in the lead of this race already on lap 10. Richards is just building a lead. Last time around he was a second quicker than Cameron Brewster, so it looks like Matt Richards has got the pace.
He's really lining up Bennyworth now. Look at this, it's going to be a dive into the corner. They're side by side, not much space between the two. They're just leaving each other enough room. Bennyworth again driving around the outside and making it stick again. Let's see what Harold can do into the final corner now. Again, Bennyworth goes for the wider line. They're going to be side by side going over the start-finish straight. Again, he just keeps the position with that line. Amazing. I think Harold's going to do him here, though, surely. And
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so Bennyworth he does have a... He was very fair. He gave Harold plenty of space, but he does run that wide line quite well. But eventually, there were too many right-handers, really. And eventually, Bennyworth had to concede the fact he was on the outside for too many of those corners, and Harold has got the place. But let's see if Bennyworth can fight back.
It's amazing how much a round can change in fortunes. Last round, Francis didn't have a great 3 races at all. This round, he's been consistently at the front, and he's been quick, and he's been clean, which is fantastic to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he put some very good moves together. And that was another one just there that he's put on Bennyworth. A great move by Harold. So yeah, he's up into 3rd place, and he has had a very good day so far. Manley looks like he's having to defend a little bit from Davies in the Subaru there.
Well, we know how good these Subaru tyres are compared to the front-wheel drive cars. I think Lewis is going to be a little bit surprised, but to be fair, if you look behind, Kelly's not that far behind either, and nor is Handover. Lewis's fastest lap isn't that rapid, like it's there or thereabouts, but I think he's struggling with the weight in this one.
Yeah, I think he's struggling, being down in the pack, having to fight his way through with a lot of weight on. Yeah, probably a bit of a struggle for him in this one, but he won't be too dissatisfied with 5th, but he is coming under pressure from that Subaru of Ollie Davies.
Yeah, so it's all starting to concertina up behind Lewis, which is not something you usually say. This is a big rarity in the touring cars.
Yeah, very unusual to see Manley under pressure, particularly at this sort of stage of a race. But I suppose we're 12 laps in, we've got 2/3 race distance. Yeah, it does look like Manley is looking backwards rather than looking forwards at this stage.
I mean, I do think they are coming towards Bennyworth. That gap is definitely getting smaller, but is Lewis going to be fast enough to hold these guys off? I mean, look at Davies now. He's all over him.
Bennyworth had a bad lap last time around, a 29.5, almost a second slower than Lewis Manley.
Was that the lap when he was side by side?
Yeah, I think that would have been when he was being passed by Harold. So it cost him a bit of time.
Look at Davies now. I can picture him overtaking Lewis now. He's working out Lewis's weaknesses, and in fact I think we're very close to seeing an attempt at an overtake here. Looking like maybe at the final corner. He's
maybe into
a little
Lodge
bit too
corner.
far back now, actually.
Yeah, not quite close enough this time around, I don't think. Manley
he's
defending.
Really closed up under braking.
Manley going quite defensive actually into Lodge corner, so he obviously felt like he could be close enough.
Yeah, I think Lewis is really focusing on the cars behind him now.
Yeah, he definitely is looking backwards, isn't he? He's not charging forwards at the moment. There's a little bit of a queue building up behind Lewis Manley, so...
Yeah, I mean, Bennyworth's fastest lap is faster than Lewis's at the moment, so it's interesting to see the changes in pace. I mean, yes, Lewis is running weight, but Richards is lapping extremely quickly, and yes, he has a little bit of weight, but he's still able to manage that, and it's very interesting to see how the different drivers react to the weights. Kelly in this race has gone back up to 7th place from 12th place very quietly, but he's done it. So very good drive from him in this race so far.
Yeah, you can see him there just behind the black and white Subaru is Christian Kelly in the Cam Sport Ice car, just in front of Daniel Handover in 8th. So yeah, interesting group we've got here. And yeah, they are all closing up more and more onto the back of Lewis Manley's MG. And in fact, Manly again defending into Druids, quite noticeably, trying to take up that middle of the track, cover the inside, and again, straight away, covering from Ollie Davies. Now this is allowing Kelly to have a look at the back of Davies as they head down into Lodge Corner. Manly really defending very, very hard. And look, it's Kelly's got alongside Davies here.
And handovers there as well. I think Kelly's going to go for the move into turn 1. Davies looks like he's got it covered for now. He turns in on the door.
That was tight. That was tight. So I thought there might be contact there, but no. Davies did manage to break late enough to get across the front of Kelly there.
Well, what they're doing now is they're all holding themselves up.
Big queue developing. You've got now right down to Curry in 10th, basically, in this little queue behind Lewis Manley. So there you can see Kelly still having a bit of a look. Oh, he's left the door slightly open, handover, sticking his nose in.
So careful looking for these opportunities to overtake, because if you go too deep into that hairpin, someone's going to be up your inside in an instant. And
it's so, yeah, they're so tightly bunched that you attack the car in front and immediately you are given opportunity to the car behind you to pass you. So, yeah, you've got to kind of fight, be looking ahead and behind at the same time.
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling that Lewis was feeling a bit more comfortable, but this lap for Ollie's been rapid because he's pulled right onto the back of Lewis once again. From being under pressure to putting the pressure back on again, what a difference a lap makes.
Yeah, absolutely. Davies has regrouped. He's fended off Kelly for the time being, and now he's back on the attack. Lewis again, look, really breaking in the middle of the circuit coming into Lodge. So definitely driving, looking in his mirrors a lot here, Manley. I think he knows he's in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, I feel that Davies is going to pull off a hell of a move. It's going to have to be a good move to get past Lewis, though. Lewis is a tough nut to crack. You really... Oh, but there's a mistake there as I say that. And that's really going to open things up for Ollie. If I was him, I'd just get a good exit from Cascades and see what I can do into the hairpin.
Yeah, definitely. Manley defending for all he's worth here.
But again, Kelly's right there as well again.
Kelly is also there because Manley's just holding up.
In fact,
Davies.
Kelly's closer now to... This race is just all over the place.
Handover's going for the inside of Kelly.
And it doesn't make it work, but great attempt. Now, in any research that you've done for the touring cars, have you driven the Subaru at all?
I've never driven the Subaru, no.
You've not? It is a handful. It really is. It's really tough to drive, especially on the limit. The little bit too much throttle, like just there we saw, and the rear end will punish you. So all these Subaru drivers are doing a fantastic job to just keep the car on the road. Yes, it's a massive advantage on the tyres, but you have to drive that car.
It does look a little bit of a handful. We've seen all of the Subarus wagging their tail quite a lot and being quite sideways at times, so it does look a little bit tricky. But yeah, no doubt towards the end of the races it's a bit stronger. But here we go, look at Kelly's diving to the inside. He's on the grass on the inside, bit of contact.
He was definitely entitled to a bit more space there, I believe. Yeah, it was a bit of a dive, but Davies could see it coming, and in defending it aggressively, he's lost 2 places. If he would have left the door open, he would have lost the position to Kelly, could have regrouped and then gone for the overtake again.
I think it was a fantastic move by Kelly, actually.
It was a great move by Kelly. Very opportunistic.
He really went for it. He was like just very decisive. He was like, I'm gonna send this. It was an absolute send it move, and it has worked out perfectly for him because he's got the place, and now he's up into 6th, and that has pushed Davies back. Handover also benefited from that. He got past Davies as well. So yeah. Kelly 6th, Handover 7th. And now,
what can he do about Lewis Manley? Now, the only thing that I'm worried about with Kelly is when he does just that. He looks at the outside and things like that happen. Now he's got Handover all up inside him. Handover backs out of it a little bit. But every time he makes those little looks to the outside, he's inviting Handover in for the dive bomb.
Yeah.
He's affecting his own race, really, by doing this. He needs to follow Lewis through there, I think.
Yeah, he definitely sort of opens the door so much. He just invites the car behind.
Look at this run he's got.
He's got a real run here up Clay Hill.
He's looking for an outside move, and that'll be amazing if he pulls it off on Lewis Manley. He's going to get the cutback for the final corner, I think. Let's see what he can do. Look at Handover looking for the scraps of this as well. He's going for the outside.
Manley defending hard.
Who's going to brake later? Kelly's on the brakes just that tad later. They leave the gap for each other. It's absolutely phenomenal. He's holding the line. Lewis gives him the space side by side on the start-finish straight. Lewis now has the inside for turn 1. Who's going to brake later? Look at Handover on the outside of Lewis now.
Kelly's pulled off a fantastic move there on Lewis Manley. You don't see that very often. Absolutely superb driving from Kelly to pass Manley for 5th place. Great touring car racing, great high-level sim racing between these drivers around this circuit. So easy, that could so easily have gone wrong, and yet both drivers gave each other space, and tremendous battle as a result.
What an absolute superstar.
Kelly's been absolutely
is all
phenomenal.
I can say. What an absolute superstar.
Yeah, Kelly's been absolutely fantastic all day, and that's just another fantastic move he's pulled off. So I think Manley will be quite surprised. Not many people do that to Lewis Manley.
No, I don't think they will, and it was phenomenal to watch. Absolutely phenomenal to watch.
And now Kelly is pulling away a bit, so he'll be looking to see if he can catch Bennyworth in the other Cam Sports ice car that he was just up the road, not too far away. Manley is dropping back quite a bit already. He's still got a big pack behind him. He's got Davies, Handover, and Curry all right on the back of him. So, yes, here we go. Look at Davies trying the outside of Manley here at Lodge. The same, very similar to what Kelly did, and now they're side by side. Davies is half a car length in front. Can Manley break late enough to defend this? He has to concede. Davies gets round the outside. Handover now has got a great run out of Old Hall Corner. He's all over the back. He's side by side with Manley as they head down Cascades. Manley has the inside. So this is a bit reminiscent of what happened to Richards in the last race. We're on the last lap. Richards has gone. He's miles out in front somewhere. And Manley is scrapping for every point he
but
can.
I can tell you that at the front it's not finished yet. Brewster's brought the gap right down to Richards. We'll bring it up on the screen as well. There's so much racing going on at the moment. Those tyres on the Subaru have been awesome today, is all that can be said. I mean, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything about it now, but look at that gap. There's nothing in it. Sorry for missing that on stream, but we've been so distracted by the great racing.
Handover actually hit the chicane, the tyre chicane there at Hislops, but luckily it didn't cost him too much time. But yeah, Manley really struggling. He's down in 8th place
Look
as
at
it stands.
Brewster. He's going for a last-minute lunge. He's tried it up the inside onto the start-finish line. We're going to go neck and neck across the finish on the final lap. Look at the drive he's got. It's going to be so close. And Richards takes the win with Brewster in 2nd place.
Well,
wow.
Fractions between them. Unbelievably close on the line there. Brewster got a tremendous run, but he's managed to... Richards has fended him off to win. Harold's going to be 3rd. Bennyworth finishes 4th. Manley ends up 8th. So we've got Richards winning from Brewster. Harold was 3rd. Bennyworth 4th. Christian Kelly got 5th in the end. Davies was 6th. Handover 7th. Manley down in 8th. John Curry 9th. Ben Brown 10th. Richards in 11th.
Massive apologies for only showing the final part of that battle, but so much was going on that that battle came from nowhere. I had a feeling it might have happened, but...
Yeah, I didn't really anticipate that Brewster would be able to catch so much up to Richards and really put so much pressure on him at the end.
Yeah, lots of story points in that race. Lewis finishing in 8th position.
Yeah, so similar to what happened to Richards in the last race, seemed to happen to Manley in that one, where he just seemed to have, from about mid-distance, he just had no pace.
It was very strange because in the last race, obviously, Richards had his dramas, which destroyed his tyres. Lewis didn't really have that in that race. He was just outdriven. And yes, he has the weight, but
yeah, he
guys like Kelly are the future superstars of this championship.
Yeah, I mean, some of the moves that Kelly pulled, absolutely sensational. The overtake on Lewis was outstanding. Yeah, so brilliant to see the standard of driving that we've had today. Tremendous, all 3 races absolutely tremendous, and some fantastic, hard, clean touring car racing. So
yeah, what a fantastic day of racing. I'm so happy that we've had a great day of racing and a clean day of racing, which is exactly what we needed after Thruxton. Thruxton was good, very good, but there was a lot of silly manoeuvres in those races. Whereas here, it almost seems that the new tough stance taken by race control has really helped the racing, and that was some fantastic racing in there. Like, my voice is almost gone.
Yeah, all the way through the field. We've had tremendous racing, so I think everybody can be pretty pleased with their day's work. And yeah, we definitely hope this continues for the rest of the season.
Fantastic. So we'll take a little break. We'll get the top 3 drivers, and then we'll very soon go to the final podium of the day. Thank you for sticking with us. Just stick with us a little bit more, and we'll get to that very soon.
We've got the top 3 drivers now with us from race 3. So our race 3 winner, Matt Richards. Wow, what a race that was there, Matt. He sort of, in the middle of the race, it sort of looked like it was going to be a straightforward win for you. But towards the end, Cameron Brewster was really piling some pressure on.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a bit of a nightmare of a day, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mistake in race 1, completely my fault. Race 2, incident that not my fault. But yeah, race 3, just trying to give it everything, not ruin the tyres.
Yeah.
I did ruin them a little bit in the middle sector because I think I was seeing this guy drop back a little bit after he got past. And I was thinking, well, if I try and build a little bit of a gap, I might be safe towards the end of the race. And his tyres sort of came back to him. A very close run to the line. I don't know what the gap was.
Yeah, it was. Well, I don't actually know what the time it was, but it was like a few layers of paint sort of thing. Yeah, it was definitely a tight one. He just got that much better drive, but it does seem that the Subarus seem to be better towards the end of the race. All the Subaru drivers seem to be strong at the ends.
Yeah, I mean, Oulton Park is a pretty nasty track for tyres anyway. I knew I'd struggle on tyres a little bit here. Race 1, I finished on 1%, so that just kind of tells you how much the track is hurting the tyres. Race 2, I managed it a little bit better, learned a couple of things whilst coming back through again, and race 3 just trying to put those things into action, trying to keep it easy. I find that through a race it's easier to keep a car that's behind you closer to you than have a massive gap and lose it. I've done that this season at Donington Park. So yeah, just trying to manage the gap, keep it not too large but not too small, and just keep going.
So overall, a good end to a bit of a difficult day for you. Certainly with the incidents in race 1 and race 2 as well. So I guess the championship has probably closed up quite a bit. Lewis has had a lot better day.
Yeah, definitely.
But I guess you just regroup now for the next round.
Yeah, I mean, got to take everything into consideration from today. I mean, race 1 completely my own issue. Just a little bit of the pressure got to me trying to hang.
Was that on the bump down Cascades?
Yeah,
it looked like you dropped a wheel onto the grass, but I don't know whether you hit the bump.
Yeah, the curb just as you're coming over the crest. If you catch it as you're going over it, there's a little bit of grass just after it, and if you catch it wrong, it'll pull you to the right.
Yeah.
So as I was coming off that grass section, as soon as I braked, the rear right wheel was still on it.
Yeah.
Just unfortunate.
We saw at least another 2 or 3 drivers do the same thing at that same place today. Yeah, it's been one of things that we've spotted from a few people.
For race 2 and race 3, I was just trying to be very careful with that corner, just trying to take a bit more of a sweeping line in. and just being careful through there. I mainly struggled with a hairpin today. It's a tight place to get used to, and the brakes, especially when the tyres are wearing, not the easiest to handle, but just trying to just move forward. And I think race 3, we've opened up the gap on Lewis a little bit again. So
got a bit back.
Hopefully carry that through the next 2 rounds and just see how it goes.
All right. Well, best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on race 3.
Cheers.
Okay, we'll bring in our second place driver, Cameron Brewster. Will come and have a chat with us about that charge towards the end. So close at the end. Unbelievably close finish there, Cameron. You look like maybe you've had another lap. You might have got him.
Yeah, I think one more lap I might have got him. The thing is with Matt, he knows how to defend. I've raced against him in other leagues. He's one of the best touring car drivers I know. I think I probably would have had him out the final corner, but there's an ever so slight bump on the right-hand side of the track. And he just lost me a bit of traction, and he managed to get the run on me. But good, clean race, and just got a bit held up at the start, which meant I couldn't get the gap I needed before Matt inevitably got free and caught up with me. Yes.
Yeah, so overall quite a good day for you, though, I think. Fairly strong results in all races that I can think of.
Race 1 was a bit of a nightmare. For race 1, I did the same as Matt. I dropped it on the run down the hill towards turn 2 and 3. But that was my fault. And then race 2, built my way up, lost a couple of positions because of incidents. But no, race 3, good start. Managed to make it past Brown, who was on pole. And then somehow an Astra got a good start and ended up on the outside of me through turn 1. And I kind of wondered where the heck that came from.
Yeah, Bennyworth, he got an amazing... he just took a really wide line through turn 1, but he managed to carry so much speed. Yeah. He just got on the outside of everybody.
I mean, to be honest, I was expecting to be the only car coming out of that, given that was a rear-wheel drive starting on the second row.
I called it, I was saying the same thing in commentary. I was like, well, you got a very good launch. And I was like, well, you've got the lead, really. But then Bennyworth came from out of nowhere around the outside of everybody. And,
exactly. And then he kind of bottlenecked us up a bit. And I didn't quite have the kind of delta on him to make a move. Because obviously you don't want to make a move and end up hitting somebody off because it's not fair.
So are we likely to see you do any more rounds of this championship?
I think there's a couple more that I can make. It just depends if space is free up and whatnot. But I'd like to come back and try and get to the top step with the Subaru and see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been fantastic racing today, and it's nice to see people putting Subarus up there because they've struggled a bit so far this season.
Yeah, up there where they deserve to be.
That's right. All right. Thanks, Aaron.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Cheers. Right, we'll bring in our third place driver, who was so going on. I can't remember who was third. Francis Harold was third. So much going on in that race, I can't remember what the order was by the end. But another tremendously exciting race from our perspective. And I must admit, I don't remember talking much about you in that race. I think you kind of snuck under the radar a bit.
Yeah, it was a little bit of that one for me. Start was okay. I think I got up to 4th, started 5th. No, started 4th, got up to 3rd, and then Richards got me around the outside at Cascade. So I was just kind of holding my position at that point, and I let Ben Brown through. Just a bit of lapse of concentration, so I spent a few laps to get past him again, and then it was just kind of catching up to the top 3. By that point, Richards and Brewster had already got through on Bunnyworth, so I knew that I probably wasn't going to be able to catch them once they'd gone. It took me a couple of laps to get Bunnyworth, and at that point, I think they were already 6 or 7 seconds ahead, and I was just like, let's just save it in 3rd and not risk anything. I was just keeping an eye on the gaps behind. It was opening up by a 10th or 2 every lap, so I was comfortable. Tyres weren't too bad at the end of the race, but I was never going to catch the top 2, so it was just sensible to settle for 3rd, really.
So another podium for you. So quite a good day overall.
Yeah,
some definitely strong results, strong pace.
Yeah, after the disaster that was Thruxton with 3 drive-throughs and 3 races, that was it was needed again. I think it's put me back up to 3rd or 4th in the championship, which is good. The weight here was a bit nasty to carry. The second race was tough with that 57 kilos on.
We did see that with Richards in race 2 and Lewis Manley in race 3. They're really struggling to carry the weight. About half distance, they seem to have no pace.
It's tough. The first half of the race isn't too bad because the tyres are still alive, but it's when you get that degradation compared to everyone else, you just can't get on the throttle as early. You're just waiting longer to turn, and it's just everything just feels a little bit sluggish, and you just get drivers harassing you, and then you have to start defending, and it just gets worse and worse.
Yeah. So a great improvement for your championship. So I guess you'll be pushing on for the rest of the season to see if you can get into that sort of, I guess, the top 3? Top 3, 4
well, I think
is where you want to be?
The first 2 are a bit out of reach now in the championship. They've had kind of clean rounds every go, so it's a bit bit out of reach there. We struggled with pace a little bit at the start of the season as well. So starting to show a little bit more of the form I expect, and hopefully we'll get some more podiums in, is it Croft next?
I'll take your word for it. Can never remember which one's next. But yeah, no, definitely we look forward to that. And yeah, we'll let you go and join the podium celebration.
Awesome. Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks. Right, we'll take a little short break, and then we will be over to join the drivers for the podium presentation.
Okay, so welcome back. So just going to do a quick presentation for our top 3 drivers in the touring cars. I'll just say one thing, great standard of driving, a lot better than Thruxton. All calm down a bit-ish. But anyway, moving on. I'll just mention joint 4th place was Christian Kelly and Ollie Davis with 36 points apiece, so well done to you two. But taking the bottom step on the podium, 2 points ahead of them, with 38 points, is Matt Richards. Having a good battle up at the top end of the grid this round. Finishing on 40 points, 2 points ahead of Matt, was Francis Harold. but taking a top step on the podium after a poor round last time out, but regaining his composure was Lewis Manley. Okay, so well done, top 3 there. We move on to the next round at Croft at the beginning of September. I think it's the 7th off the tip of my head. But look forward to seeing you back. Thanks for watching on the stream, and thanks for coming down, guys. Appreciate it.